You know, there's this massive hidden force quietly driving up the cost of your everyday life right under our noses. We always hear about how AI is going to totally change the world, right? But we rarely talk about its actual physical toll on our economy. So today, we're going to map out the secret AI tax in this explainer. Let's jump right in. Look at your monthly budget. You've probably been sitting there looking at it, asking yourself, why are my bills still rising? I mean, AI promises to absolutely revolutionize our future, but right now, it's actually acting as a secret culprit behind sticky inflation.
We call this the hidden AI tax. And no, it's not some new government levy or anything like that. It's the rising cost of everyday goods and services driven entirely by the massive physical infrastructure and energy demands required just to make artificial intelligence work.
Let's break this down. Phase 1, the hardware supply shock. To really understand why this is happening, you have to realize tech giants aren't just writing software code. They are spending billions, literally billions, on physical data centers and advanced silicon chips.
And this perfectly illustrates the core problem. Every single AI system demands highly specialized chips. But when you have this explosive demand crashing into a flat, stagnant supply, well, basic economics takes over and prices completely skyrocket. Right now, desperate tech companies are paying massive premium prices just to hoard this hardware before their competitors can get their hands on it. This panic buying injects billions into the sector, inflating costs across the entire tech supply chain, which eventually trickles right down to the devices in your pocket.
That brings us to phase 2, the power grid problem. Because buying those chips, that's really only step 1. Keeping millions of them running introduces an entirely new, massive physical constraint for all of us.
Think about it. AI doesn't run on magic. It runs on raw power. Actually, scratch that. Processing just a single complex AI prompt requires substantially more electricity than your standard internet search. It's putting an unprecedented heavy strain on our existing power grids. And this creates a pretty ruthless domino effect. Let's trace it. A giant AI data center gets built, which causes massive grid strain. That strain causes local energy prices to spike. And finally, everyday goods cost more. It is quite literally a direct pipeline from a server rack straight to your wallet.
So the crucial takeaway here is that higher energy costs equal higher everyday prices. When energy goes up, production gets more expensive. From manufacturing plants down to delivery trucks, business overhead increases, and those costs are passed directly onto you.
Okay, phase 3, big tech's bidding war. Meanwhile, this is not some friendly race. Big tech companies are engaged in an all-out, ruthless fight for physical dominance to build out their AI infrastructure.
What's really fascinating here is how massive amounts of corporate money are fiercely chasing a very limited pie of resources. They're sparking these intense bidding wars, not just for the hardware and energy, but also for specialized talent, which drives wages and costs even higher.
Whenever you have this dynamic of massive corporate spending chasing a shrinking or stagnant supply, it's like throwing gasoline on an inflationary fire. You have hundreds of billions of dollars competing for finite chips, power, and people. The pressure just goes completely through the roof.
Which leads us to phase 4, the real-world impact. We've mapped out all these macroeconomic dominoes, but what does this intense economic pressure actually mean for your bank account today?
Well, this is the immediate AI tax. You could soon be facing noticeably higher electricity bills, way more expensive consumer electronics, and rising costs for basic services. Because remember, when energy goes up, it lifts the baseline price of absolutely everything.
Now, to be fair, we do have to weigh this short-term reality of grid strain and higher prices against a potential long-term silver lining. Eventually, AI could create massive improvements in human productivity, which would lower costs across the board for everyone.
But you know, we don't live in the long run yet. While AI will undoubtedly transform the global economy eventually, the current ruthless race to dominate it is creating dangerous new inflation risks right now. Risks that most people are completely blind to because they're distracted by the flashy software on their phones.
The dominoes are already falling toward your wallet. The infrastructure is being built, the massive energy is being consumed, and the economic pressure is mounting, leaving us with one final critical question. Are you willing to pay the hidden AI tax? Thanks for watching this explainer.